Hey everybody, welcome to another week's edition of Karmic Creations, Crystals and Tarot. It is great to be back here talking about another crystal. Today's crystal is going to be this one. It is called Caribbean Calcite, and it's a pretty funky stone. I guess it's considered pretty rare, but we'll get more into that in a couple of minutes. Before I start, if you have not liked and subscribed to my channel, do it now. If you like and subscribe, you get notifications, you know when I put out new content, and it helps me out a lot to know that I have more followers. So anyway, before I start talking about crystals and their energy healing, I want to do my weekly disclaimer that crystals are not supposed to take the place of medical treatment. If there's something wrong with you, get yourself to a doctor. Don't say, I'm going to hold this crystal. I'll be right in my medical part of my life, because you don't know. You don't want to take chances. You are too important to not give yourself the best care that you deserve. Crystals are wonderful. Crystals have their own vibrational energy. Their vibrational energy works with the natural vibrations of your body to bring different parts of your body into balance. And we all need more balance in our lives because the world we're living in is a little bit crazy. But who doesn't know that, right? So let's start talking about this stone. This stone is called Caribbean Calcite. It is shades of light blue. It's shades of light greens. It has browns in it, some whites. It is a combination of calcite with aragonite. So those are the two stones, minerals, whatever you want to say, that go together to make up this stone. It's marked by the stripes that you see in it, which are pretty cool. And if you look right there, do you see that's like that hole inside of it? That's another trademark of Caribbean Calcite. And if you were to get like a microscope and look super, super deep inside of that, you can actually see a little bit of like quartz crystallese kind of things in there. Drusies, that's the word I was looking for. Sometimes my words don't always come. Oh, that's a really good one right there. So yeah, it's a pretty cool stone. It is a very calming stone. For me, this is a stone that I actually keep in my car. It sits right there in the door pocket of my car, and when I'm driving and I start to get stressed, or there's traffic, or there's big trucks, because I hate big trucks when I'm on the road, I'll just hold it in my hand. Instantly calms me down, gets rid of my stress, helps me focus. So I told you this is kind of a rare stone. This stone was not discovered until 2019. And even though it's called Caribbean Calcite, guess where it was discovered? In Pakistan. And nowhere near the Caribbean, but they gave it its name because the colors reminded the people who found it of the water that you see in the Caribbean seas, and the peace and the calm and the tranquility of it. So that's how it's got its name. Caribbean Calcite is a stone that is primarily for the third eye and the crown chakra, your connection with spirit, your connection to the other side, your intuition. It's a stone that eases anxiety. It's a stone that brings you peace and calm. It's another one of those stones that is really good to use during meditation. It is a stone that is supposed to give you really lucid dreams. So if you get one of these stones, I think you should put it under your pillow at night and see what kind of crazy dreams you have. And I would do that, but I already have messed up dreams, so I don't want any more crazy dreams than I already have. But might be something kind of cool to do. This stone is your connection to the other side. When you hold this stone, you are supposed to be able to receive messages from people who have passed, messages from your spirit guides, messages that someone in your life needs to know. Could be you, could be someone else, but it's a stone that helps you receive those messages. And because of the blue calcite that is part of this stone, I would consider this a throat chakra stone also. So covering the 3 upper chakras, and it allows you to verbalize those messages. Verbalize those messages, verbalize the meaning behind them, and really help you be more intuitive, but use that intuitive ability to help someone else. This stone is a fairly delicate stone. It's only ranked a number 3 on the Mohs hardness scale, so you definitely don't want to break it. And as my husband pointed out to me, this one actually has a large crack right across the middle of it. So I'm kind of super gentle with it, and I don't want it to break all the way through. If it did, it would just mean that I would have 2 of them, whatever. This is also a stone, though, that is associated with helping you connect to your higher being, helping you connect to your higher purpose. If you are someone who isn't sure what your role is in the world and isn't sure what you are supposed to do with your life, this is a stone that through meditation is going to help you find your true life's purpose. Another thing I found really interesting about this stone, especially for me, is that this is a stone that encourages self-love. And when we talk about self-love and a crystal, we always talk about rose quartz. That's the go-to for self-love. It's your heart chakra. It is a stone that is supposed to really enhance self-love, promote self-love. I hate rose quartz. It is my most hated stone, and I have my reasons for it. It's a stone that is a pretty pink. Rose quartz is a pretty pink, and when I was a little girl, I loved the color pink. So it's not the color that I don't like, but whatever it is about rose quartz, it totally conflicts with my heart chakra. So years ago, when I was doing my Reiki training, it was 8 years ago now, I went through full training to become a Reiki master. I'm actually a Reiki master teacher. I don't know if I've mentioned that on here before. So holistic healing is something that I'm kind of into. I'm pretty good at it. We could have a whole nother talk about Reiki. If you are considering becoming a Reiki person, really look into the lineage of the person who's teaching you. My lineage, I am actually 5th in line in my lineage, 5th in line from Hawaii Tokado, who brought Reiki to America. So I have a pretty clean lineage. I'm pretty good at what I do when it comes to Reiki. But when I was practicing Reiki and I was learning Reiki, we would practice on each other in the classes that I was in. And it was the big joke in the class because my heart chakra was always ice cold. And it did not matter who worked on me, whether it was a teacher, whether it was another student, whether it was another Reiki master, they could not get any heat into my heart chakra. It was like ice. And I was fine with that because, you got to be careful who you let into your heart and what you have going on there. But they recommended rose quartz for me. So I was like, all right. So they gave me a piece of rose quartz to keep close to me, kept it in my bra because that's where generally you keep crystals. I don't know if you know that or not, but a lot of people do. So I would keep the rose quartz in my bra. And a week later, the rose quartz crystal was no longer pink. It was pure white. My body sucked all of the color out of that rose quartz because it wasn't a stone for me. And it wasn't something that I liked. And clearly the vibrational energy of my body didn't like it either because it just took all the color out. So not a fan of rose quartz. If I do have rose quartz, it ends up looking like a white quartz and, doesn't work for me. But this one does. And I kind of like that this is associated with self-love because who doesn't need to love themselves a little bit more? I think we all do. And in case you're wondering, I think my heart chakra has movement in it now. I don't think I have an ice cold heart anymore. I think that the people who know me would probably agree that I'm not a cold-hearted person anymore. Maybe it's the crystals that helped me. Maybe it's the Reiki that helped me. I don't know. But anyway, get back to this one. Caribbean calcite, found in Pakistan in 2019. Fairly rare stone, so if you can find one, get your hands on it. It's worth the money that you spend. Make sure if you're getting a crystal, you get it from a reputable person. I do not recommend getting your crystals off of, I don't want to be inappropriate, foreign cheapy websites. Let's say it like that. Or foreign cheapy apps. Don't get your crystals off of there. Are they real crystals? Maybe. Are they dyed stones? Probably. Were they sourced in a reputable or positive way? Probably not. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be using a crystal to try to raise my vibrational energy or to change the vibration in my body when those crystals have been bathed in the blood, sweat, and tears of small children working in sweatshops. Not something that I want. Not the kind of energy I want in my house. Not the kind of energy I want around my body. So anyway, get your crystals from reputable sources. This one is Caribbean Calcite, your crown, your third eye, your throat, and I guess your heart too, if it's about self-love, right? And this is great for stress relief, getting rid of anxiety, keeping you calm, giving you that feeling that you get when you're at the ocean or you're at the water and you're just feeling the breeze and you're feeling the waves and everything's peace and calm in your world. So that's what Caribbean Calcite is going to do for you. Lucid dreams, if you do get a piece of this and you do what I said and put it under your pillow, love for you to leave a comment about what kind of dreams you're having with this crazy, crazy stone. So like and subscribe. And now we're going to move on to some tarot. So get ready for it. So before I get into the whole tarot time that I always do, where I draw a card and the Three of Swords always comes up until I get pissed and put it back in the pile and pick a different card. But before I start our tarot time, I've had a couple of people reach out to me and ask me about tarot decks and ask me about learning how to read tarot. So I've been reading tarot now for 13 years, which is kind of a long time. I'm sure I've mentioned in this, fortune telling goes back in my family for hundreds of years. My grandfather, 8 times back, was hung in the Salem witch trials. It's Samuel Wardwell. You can read about him online. He was arrested and hung for fortune telling. His wife and daughter were also arrested, but they were spared. I have my own opinions about the Salem witch trials and what happened to the people and why they were actually targeted. But those are my opinions. Or maybe there's more than that. Maybe I know stuff. Maybe I was there. You never know. Because, you know, they say that your ancestry, you're running the same circles and who knows? But people have been asking me about learning to read tarot. And there are shops that you can go to, metaphysical shops, where they will teach you about the different tarot cards and the meanings of them, and they're amazing. If you can get into an in-person class, do it. 100% do it. If you can't, though, because of time restrictions, because I know everybody has so much going on in their lives, and it's hard. When you get a tarot deck, I say you can get a tarot deck from anywhere. Again, watch out for those cheapy foreign websites, apps, just because they're cheaper, but you don't know where they're coming from. But I mean, I guess you don't know that when you buy it in a store either, but at least in the store, there's other energy that's touched it that might not be so bad. So regardless, when you get a tarot deck, the first thing you want to do is clear the energy. There's a couple different ways you can clear energy. You can light sage and just run the deck through the sage. You can use, I guess you could use Himalayan salt and you can just kind of put it in the salt. You could do that. I'm not a big fan of Himalayan salt, though. I have my own reasons for that too. Got a lot of reasons for things I don't like. But so this is a deck for someone who does not know how to read tarot. And this is called Learning Tarot Cards. And this is just something that I came upon. And I actually came upon it because my best friend always says she wants to read tarot and she wants to learn. And even though I'm a teacher in the real world, I don't always feel like teaching people outside of my regular 9-to-5 job. Well, 8-to-3 job, whatever you want to call it. But this is something that I found that was really cool. And this deck is, one, it's pretty on the back, you can see. But because it's called a beginning tarot deck, what you have is this. So I'm trying to, I've got a light up there. I don't want the light to get into it. So this talks about each card. And I know it's backwards, but just so you get an idea. This is the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles is a card that it's all about money. but it gives you, this deck gives you the different things that it does. If you're doing a yes or no question, it tells you if you get this card, it would be a yes. It gives you the chakra, it gives you the zodiac sign, all those things. It talks about the card itself and what it would do. And when I put this video up, I might be able to like flip it somehow so you'd still be able to read. But just as a resource, this is a great deck. What I like about this deck too is that it uses the traditional Rider-Waite cards. So by using the traditional Rider-Waite cards, it gives you that basis to build off of. All tarot decks are based off of the Rider-Waite. The Rider-Waite was really the first official accepted tarot deck. So all of the other decks really are built off of those cards. They're the same concept. You have the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Ace of Cups, you have the 4 different suits, you have the cups, you have the pentacles, you have the swords, you have the wands, you have the 4 elements that go through with them: water, air, fire, and earth. Yeah. I'd think about that for a minute. So you have all of those things. But like I said, what I like about this deck, and I did buy this deck for my best friend and gifted her one, and I kept one too so I could answer any questions that she had about it. I like this because it talks about each card and it gives you the information. So if you are going to teach yourself tarot, I would recommend a deck like this. Again, this is called Learning Tarot Cards. I would recommend what you do is do not try to learn them all at once. You will drive yourself crazy and you will not be able to retain any information. Before I took my tarot training classes through a local shop, I did a lot to teach myself the cards, so I had a really strong background when I went in. I actually bought myself a book that is Tarot for Dummies. That was the name of the book. You know, like when we were younger, way back in the day, and there was like Windows for Dummies or Word for Dummies and all those things for computer programs so you could learn. Well, there's actually a book that is Tarot for Dummies. And what I did, and this is something that was helpful to me and everyone I've talked to and recommended it to, it's been helpful to all of them. So what you do is you have a notebook and each day you choose one card, just one card, and have it be your inspiration for the day. So kind of like when you get up in the morning, you pick out your tarot deck, you shuffle it, and then you say, what does the universe need me to know today? And then you pick your card. And that is your card to learn that day. But make sure that when you're learning it, you're accepting the message for yourself. When you learn this card, I recommend that you have your notebook, like I said, write the name of the card, write on it what colors you see in the card, what's represented in the card, are there any symbolism in the card, and then do a Google search. Ask what the meaning of this card is and look at different sites to figure out what the meaning is. Don't just choose one. There's also a game on Steam that my husband just downloaded because he thought it'd be fun for me. And it is kind of fun because it makes me feel really smart because I know a lot about tarot. But if you don't know about tarot, it's a game on Steam that's going to teach you about tarot. And it teaches you the different cards and it shows you a meaning and you have to match it with the card. So it makes it interactive, it makes it fun. So there's lots of different ways to learn tarot. Make sure that you're getting a deck though that is a tarot deck and not an oracle deck. Oracle decks are a whole different ball game, but you want a tarot deck, preferably a Rider-Waite tarot, the traditional Rider-Waite tarot. Trust me, you won't be sorry that you go that route. So now we're going to get ready for tarot time. And with the tarot time today, I am again using my Gilded Tarot, going back to my roots. This was my first tarot deck. And look at that freaking card. Ugh! All right, it's made its appearance. We don't need to see it again. So now I'm going to shuffle the cards. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And when they're done shuffling, we'll be ready to start our one card reading. Okay, cards are sticking. So we are ready for the one card reading for tarot time. If you have not liked and subscribed to my YouTube channel, do it now. I like seeing that I have more followers. It makes me feel special and important. So hit that button. All right, I'm going to divide these into 3 piles. 1, 2, 3. Put them back. Okay, and I'm going to pick the card on the top. And this is our card for today. Page of Pentacles. If you look at this card, it has a young person on it holding a pentacle. Pentacle cards are generally money cards. So they represent abundance. They represent good fortune. They represent your wealth. They're also an earth element card, which we can get more into that a different time. But let's talk more about Page of Pentacles and what it means for you. So our page cards are generally messenger cards. In this case, the Page of Pentacles is about new beginnings in an earthly sense, in a materialistic sense, in a business sense. So if this card comes up for you in a reading, this means that now is the time to start making yourself some money. If you have a business idea, run with it. If you have a way that you think is going to work to make some extra cash, do it. This card is a card that says that you have huge opportunities coming your way. You have huge opportunities to make yourself some wealth, to make yourself some more money, to give yourself a new beginning. Get out of the rut that you're in. Focus on what you want to do. Get the energy behind it. This is all about youthful energy, this youthful happiness, this attitude where nothing can stop you. And that's what this card is about. So if this relates to you, embrace it. Embrace it. Start putting your ideas into being. Stop just thinking about what you can do to make money. This card means money is on the way for you. Success is on the way for you. And all you have to do is embrace it, and it's going to be yours. That's it for today. Karmic Creations, Crystals, and Tarot. I'll see you next week. Like and subscribe if you haven't already done it. Thanks. Bye.